Hey everyone, welcome back. We are still live here at Bridging Innovation. My name is Matt Ditchin with Commerce Communications in the Day 304, and we are here with our next guest, Azfar, who is a great storyteller, native New Yorker, but now a West Virginian, and I'm so happy that he is here to share his perspective. So Azfar, welcome.
Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, what you do, and kind of the work that you're doing right now.
So, Matt, yes, you're right, absolutely. I'm a storyteller. Spent 20 years doing television work with CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, all kinds of people, and then kind of fell into artificial intelligence work and working on chatbots. Got an opportunity to become part of West Virginia and how amazing this landscape is,
Yep.
and how warm and welcome and kind and generous people are. And
Sure.
I'm just absolutely enjoying this opportunity, and I wish to see more interesting, kind, generous stories about West Virginia come out.
Yeah, absolutely. And West Virginia is an incredible landscape. We have great people, and I think we have some incredible stories that are still yet to be told. And I'm excited to hear them and also get new people outside of the state to come in and share their perspective as well. So my first question is, could you talk about the importance of storytelling and how that's played in your work?
If you, if you look at anything that we do today, it just sounds better if there is a second narrative around it, which is a story aside from facts. I believe that on a day-to-day basis, there aren't enough stories being told about West Virginia. And if you step away from West Virginia, the world also doesn't understand what kind of stories West Virginia has. So part of my job here as someone who's a transplant from New York City is just to make sure that I'm telling people about how amazing people here are, how some of the greatest stories that I'm stumbling across here is the person who has a horse boarding farm, for instance, or is a local teacher, or is brewing new kinds of cider as well, something that I've just been interested in lately as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that kind of ties in a little bit to my next question, is that you said a lot of stories aren't being told in West Virginia, or they just don't know. What's something that you found in your work is a great way, how do we intertwine storytelling to cut through that noise? Because we're bombarded with a bunch of TikToks, Facebook posts, there's a lot of stuff out there now in all sorts of mediums. How do we cut through that, and how does storytelling help cut through that noise?
That's a great question, man. So there's only a limited attention span that people have. So if you choose to not be on TikTok, someone else will take that attention away from you as well.
Yeah.
I believe that you are in a position to not just bring those stories across the platforms, but also write them and plan them in a better way as well. Now, to your question specifically, I've benefited over the years by trying to get to the heart of each story, which usually lies around a cause or a person. I think West Virginia is doing the exact same thing, and I think it needs to continue to do is think about what local people are doing here and just amplify some of those stories. The more you amplify, the more better vibes will continue to come in as well, and the more connections and networking will happen. The more grassroots, small initiatives get the kind of eyeballs, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, the more chances are that they will be leveraged by entrepreneurs elsewhere. They will be supported by funding agencies elsewhere. It's not difficult, but yes, it is a step-by-step process. You have to put one brick at a time, one foot ahead of the other to make sure that you get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like with any story, you have to really start at, yeah, like you said, the roots start where the people are or the cause is, and I really liked how you said that.
Right. Like take my story, for instance. I had heard all kinds of stories about West Virginia, but the reality is I have been welcomed by some of the most generous people around. Do I miss New York City? Of course, but the alternative that I'm getting here is kind, generous people, flowing mountains, the greenery, the ability to drive 20 minutes from my house in Lewisburg and get to the river and put out a kayak. So many firsts in my story itself. I did not know how to swim. I had never been on a river before. I had not kayaked. All of these because I'm now part of this community. And I could not have done this without the people who are supporting me as well.
Yeah, and West Virginia is great to support newcomers, and whether you've been here a year or your whole life, we want to see people succeed. So we're almost out of time, so How do people get in contact with you if they want to learn more about the work that you do, or if they maybe had questions, or maybe go down the same path that you are?
So my website, azfarrizvi.com, has some of my work, some of the work that I'm doing for Netflix these days, some of the work that I'm trying to work with the University of West Virginia as well. They can contact me through email. They can even text me as well. The key is to take that first step. The key is to, without even any hesitation, reach out to the person and say, hey, this is an idea. I want to do something about it. Can you help me? And then throw the ball in their court and let them say no. And I'm telling you,